In the Old Testament, the book of Maccabees, it speaks about it's a good and wholesome thing to pray for the dead. And that's where we get that whole idea of purgatory, you know, a place where people are. They're not in any kind of, they're not in a bad place, they're in a wonderful place, just like us, but they're not there yet, and so they're moving along. And the only way they can get there is by the help of our prayers. They pray for us, and we pray for them.
There was. Did you hear it?
Oh my! Can I?
This family here in 1912, this is the Schmidt family. The three of their members of their family were murdered in their home in Payson. It is the only murder in Adams County that has never been solved. They have no idea who committed this murder. They do have one suspect. It might have been a family member, but that person's already gone too. So this is going to be an unsolved mystery, as they would say. So we're taking a walk now down to John Wood, the founder of the city of Quincy, Illinois, 1822. And this is where John Wood and his family is buried. Now, his father had passed away in New England, and because of taxation and moving the body, it was going to cost the family an awful lot. So what they had done was they decided to just have the head transported here, and the rest of the body is in New England. And Mr. Wood's father is buried right here. So his father's head is just in this area right here. Right down here, you'll see a vault. It's called the City Vault, and the City Vault was where they would place people when people would die. They didn't have refrigeration in the early years when they first founded the city, so they'd be placed in this vault. The autopsy would oftentimes be taken and done on the outside, and citizens of the city would have their autopsy done either inside the vault or at the hospital, depending on how long they had been dead. Under this hill that we're on right now, there is a cave which is cinder blocked, and so you can't get through it. But there are several hundred people buried beneath us here. And many of these people who are buried here is in remembrance of this Civil War. These are Civil War people. The mausoleum was the hospital area, actually, where we're going to be going to. That was the Civil War hospital, and many of the Civil War people are buried under this cave here. Many of them died of influenza also. People who are buried here, you know, were once just like you and I, living people, and enjoyed life and had probably, I'm sure, a good life, and some had sad lives too. But in any case, they were human beings just like you and I, and just like we're enjoying ourselves right now, the people who are buried here also had a wonderful life too, I'm sure, and enjoyed life, and they're probably enjoying the fact that we are here with them. You know, it's all part of the communion of saints. You know, it's the living and the dead. We are all together, and our heaven begins right here on earth. So there's nothing really to be afraid of anything out here, because the dead will not hurt you in any way. But it's really nice to be able to be here with them, because, you know, probably they don't get too many visitors. So it's kind of nice to be able to come and say, hey, how y'all doing, you know. Yeah, nothing here is going to hurt you. They're all here. I mean, they're just like you and me, you know. They're just in a different state. We're alive on earth. They are alive in heaven. And heaven starts right here. We're right on earth with us. The reason for no dates on the Lakin family burial plots was because when Pearl died, the family was so distraught they left town, and as each person died in the family, they were brought back here to Quincy, buried, but they never put dates. And so there are no dates. The last person who died, they say, is on the top, which is Leslie, I think, and they just never put the dates on there. Sometimes, it says here, you will see a little girl on the outside of this building and other children playing, and when you walk towards them, they smile at you, and then as you smile back, they seem to disappear. Okay? So now we go inside. The smell that you're smelling right now is just kind of a stale air. We're going to go down to the other end over here first, and we'll tell some stories down here. Here we see the Dick family. This is the family that has the brewery in town, okay? So the Dick family is well known for its brewery on 9th and Kentucky here in Quincy, Illinois. One of the family members died in the brewery, and people nicknamed this person Sudsy. And people nicknamed this person Sudsy. He drowned in a vat of beer. He is buried in one of these crypts.
You guys hear that?
Huh?
Something just broke back there.
No.
Yeah,
I didn't hear a thing.
Yeah, there was like, it sounded like a crash.
something just fell down.
Can we still tell these stories over here? I don't know if I want to go down there.
Oh yeah, I heard like a flower
Okay, let me, if we could just stop right where we're at so I can continue this story, because we're going to move around the corner in just a second. A year later, we had put a tape recorder at the Dick's Crypt, and we were walking around, and ironically, as you just heard, a sound that came from the side of the mausoleum, and a group ran out, leaving the recorder in the mausoleum. After our wits came back to be okay, we went to the mausoleum. Who did that? After our wits came back to be okay, we went to the mausoleum. Who did that? Wait, wait, who did it?
came from over there.
All right, who's here? Okay, there's a curtain over here. Can we look on the
Sure, go ahead. We're going to go down there anyway. Shall we go down? That's the blood pots. Excuse me. Now we're going to go down here. This is where the blood pots are, so be careful. Careful.
I just don't explain it.
And here's blood pots right here. That's full of blood and formaldehyde.
Can we open one?
No. That's full of...
Yeah. Like right now, and then like everything's
Can y'all see it?
These are also.
Yeah, those are blood. I'll get out of your way. Blood pots are back there. Take a look. That's what you heard right there. Whew.
Yeah, how do we hear it when we're all upstairs?
I don't know. I think that was what it was.
Oh yeah.
Well, where is... How did it move? How did it move?
Did it sound like this?
Oh, wasn't? Okay.
No, this sounded more like glass broke.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that tile sounds like that.
No. Okay. Off we go. Shh. Now we got to be real quiet. This is where you hear like rumbling sounds sometimes. Did you? Oh, no, this is like really faint, quiet. You'll hear like, we always say it sounds like bones falling apart. Oh, they're supposed to have a funeral here. I don't know where. Oh, that's where the funeral's going to be, right there.
move the chair.
Right, see there, it's all set up over there. Okay, I'm going to turn the lights. I'll be real quiet. Shh, but you can leave yours on. That's the noise of the outside. Somebody broke in here a couple weeks ago and broke a statue that was right in there. It's being repaired right now. Okay, I'll tell the story about Bonfoy. Can we come over here? This is about the Bonfoy. The Bonfoy family lived in Quincy, Illinois, and they gave Quincy University the first women's dorm, this lady right here, Olivia, and she moved out of the house in the early 1930s, and it was still there until the 1960s when Centennial Hall was built. This is really interesting too. Mrs. Bonfoy is seen in this crypt right here sometimes, reading a book within the mausoleum in her crypt area, as well as on the hill near the Civil War monument, and the common area that connects the men's and the women's residence hall at Centennial Hall. She was a great lover of piano music, and sometimes at night people will hear the piano music coming from the crypt as well as Centennial Hall. We took the tape recorder back home. They reviewed the tape, and by the way, Josh Finnis, he has the tape. I called him today, and he's going to get it back to us. It's still at home. But we came back the next day, and here is Richard Haas. And that was what it kept saying, Richard, 3 times. Richard, Richard, Richard. And this is the name of the grave that we think that might have, that they were talking about.
Brother Ed,
yes?
we actually found there's a vase that fell off over there, and there's one of the chairs that is kind of pushed aside.
Really?
That wasn't a tile that fell. That was the vase that fell off.
Where?
Where your funeral's going to be.
And there's a chair.
Is it broken?
Yeah. And it was like off, it just fell off the ledge.
Yeah.
Well, you know, those things do happen every so often. I think maybe because people have it on the edge like all the time. I'm sure there must be an explanation.
What did you get us into, brother?
Where? Oh my.
Chair sideways. Wow.
Wow. Came off the ledge here. No, not that I know of. Wow. Why the chairs moved here? Oh, there's glass here too. Oh, the chairs. Oh, here's glass too, and that's kind of creepy, isn't it?
Where's the person actually going in?
Oh, right here. Right here. At least that's what I'm presuming. I mean, there are a couple other places, but I'm presuming that's why they have it all set up here. That goes right in here.
Could have been right here below the Lancaster one.
Is there a stone? Is there a name on?
There's nothing here.
Virginia Lancaster.
Why would they just put
No, so yeah.
Wow.
No, I said
What does that say?
Made in China.
Made in China.
Of course, of course.
See, they're mad because they don't have a unique Made in America vase.
It's true. Oh gosh! Wait, did you see that? I saw a shadow go right through there.
Did you?
Yeah. Shh, 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 shh. Careful. Come over here. There was a shadow that just went right past here. I saw it go right that way. right over here. One in here. Shh. Did you hear that? Ooh, I got a cold spot right here in this vent. I don't know where that's coming from. And this is where, you know, people would have been kept until the autopsy took place. And as I said, if they died in the summer, 12 hours, they had to do it here. They couldn't do it in the hospital because of the disease. But you can take a good look inside. It's just full of wood now, but that's where they would store the bodies in there until the autopsy. Pretty cool, huh? You can go in if you want. I don't know how far you go.
Let's say Jack.
What's your favorite game?
Oh my God.
Did you get that?
Oh my God. Listen to this.
Did you hear that?
She says, "What is your favorite game?" And something comes back and says, "Jacks."
What's your favorite game?
Oh my!
Can I hear that? Can I hear this? Yeah, it's very, very faint. Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, where was the phone at that point? Where were you at with the phone?
I think I was walking around and like trying to entice.
Oh, I see. You were just asking the questions and see what they were there. And you, of course, you didn't hear that when you were doing that. Oh my gosh, it's really. On behalf of all of us from Quincy University, we would like to say thank you to all those who are buried here, and we remember you in our prayers, and we thank you for the enjoyment of being here and having this experience.
Halloween is a time for ghosts, witches, and scary tales, but you don't have to look far to find some real ghost stories right here in the Tri-States.
That's right. On October 17th, 6 students, a film crew, and some members of the WGEM team toured Woodland Cemetery and the Mausoleum. Here are some of their stories and experiences from that night.
Sometimes you will see a little girl on the outside of this building and other children playing, and when you walk towards them, they smile at you, and then as you smile back, they seem to disappear. Okay? So now we go inside.
Never in my wildest dreams did I think we would experience what we experienced.
It was kind of peaceful in there, and then all of a sudden, you know, we hear our first crash.
He is buried in one of these crypts.
You guys hear that?
Huh?
Something just broke back there.
No. I didn't hear a thing.
Yeah, there was like it sounded like a crash.
I thought originally that one of the kids broke off and went to another part of the building and caused this, but everyone was together. As we were going to investigate that sound, we stopped kind of midway in the mausoleum, and Brother Ed started to tell his story again. And as he got about halfway through the same story he was telling the first time, we heard the other two noises.
To be okay, we went to the mausoleum. Who did that?
What it was is an iron rod that was down in the basement, and it sounded like someone had just kind of tripped over it. And when we went down there, of course, there's no one down there, and there's only one way in or out, and we were standing right next to it. Well, my first thought was, you know, Brother Ed has set us up. He's got someone hiding in there. They're getting ready to jump out of the curtain and scare us, but yeah, there was no one else there, and I couldn't